Don't you realize that the sea is the home of the water? All water is off on a journey unless it's in the sea, and it's homesick and bound to make it home someday. This is a quote by Zora Neale Hurston, and I think it applies to my life and most of y'all's life very well. The river can be compared to your life in multiple ways. The three that I choose to compare my life to are that it has to go over obstacles, it helps people do things, and it's always going towards its final destination, which is the sea. Whenever the river has to make it over obstacles, it has to make it over things like rocks, trees, and branches that stand in its way for it to flow freely, but it always seems to go around it and just keep going. The main obstacle that I had to overcome in my life is being redheaded. Whenever I was younger, I was made fun of for having red hair because it was different. Although it's not anything that I could help or change, I still got made fun of for it. The way I learned to deal with it was to not ever let it hurt my feelings because it's nothing that I could do about it and it's really not even a big deal. Eventually I started just making the jokes myself because that made it not as fun for other people because they knew that it didn't bother me, and so by senior year in high school it pretty much stopped. Another reason being redheaded is an obstacle for me is that I have very pale skin and I burn easily. Most of my friends are tan and they don't have to worry about getting sunburned whenever they're at the beach or swimming or on a boat. But whenever I go with them, I have to make sure to put on sunscreen very often. I have to make sure that I always have enough to last me through whatever we're doing, and I have to make sure to keep track of when the last time I put it on is and when the next time I need it is so that I don't get sunburned. Sunburns are very painful and can cause many different diseases, two of which could be melanoma and skin cancer, which could both be life-threatening, so I have to make sure to stay on top of it and not get either of those. Another way running water can be compared to my life is that it helps people. Water can help people by moving heavy things that they couldn't move on their own with a boat, or it can help provide them the ability to cook food or drink it to keep them alive. One of the ways I've helped somebody is my cousin Eric whenever we went to Lake of the Pines with our family. He's not a good swimmer, and so we put him in an inflatable raft and he got too far out and another kid flipped him out of it not knowing that he couldn't swim. I saw him start to go under the water and I swam out there and helped him get back up into the boat so that he would not possibly drown. Another way that I can help people is I like to help my family, my neighbors, and my girlfriend's family. I like to help my neighbors by doing things like watching their animals, getting their mail and paper while they're gone, and keeping up with their stuff while they're gone. I try and be there for my family whenever they need me to help with housework or yard work, and pick up my sister whenever she needs to be picked up from places while my parents are at work because she's too young to drive. I help my girlfriend's parents with things for her nephew while her dad's at work, or whenever he needs help putting together bigger things like a tree house. Finally, my life can be compared to a river because, like I said in the quote, it's always on a journey to the sea until it gets there. But unlike the river, my sea is towards heaven. All Christians are just on this earth for a little while until they make it to heaven, and relatively they're not here very long. We get here, do things, try and live our life right, and get into heaven. Lao Tzu once said, "Nothing in the world is more flexible and yielding than water. Yet when it attacks the firm and the strong, none can withstand it because they have no way to change it. So the flexible overcome the adamant, the yielding overcome the forceful. Everyone knows this, but no one can do it." Thank you.